What was that word you used?
Slickered?
Precisely.
The golden age of television presents Errol Flynn starring in The Golden Shanty, co-starring Patricia Barry and Peter Hansen after these messages.
Wow, channel's like a dream. No one builds a boat like you.
I should hope so. It's been my life.
Not your whole life. You've been a heck.
Television presents Errol Flynn in The Golden Shanty.
Drop everything and get out front, quick. That Boatwright fella's back in town again. You got any idea getting that money back he swindled you out of, you better hustle.
She's got a mild case of the heaves, Clyde. You just get her home and mix a pint of cascarilla and a few drops of turpentine in a bucket of water and force it down her. She'll ease up in a day or so.
Sure, much obliged to you, Mike.
I wish just once you'd try to force a bucket of liquor down somebody in that saloon instead of doctoring horses for free all the time.
Addie, I like horses, and I'm not too fond of drinkers. Where is Boatwright?
Out front. He's got a big, gaudy medicine wagon. Calls himself Dr. Boatwright now.
Dr. Boatwright's celebrated stomach bitters is all pure medical science in one small bottle. Composed of wormwood, rhubarb, sarsaparilla roots from the tropics, yellow dock, mandrake, and many other rare herbs far too numerous to mention. Shall we say half a dozen bottles to start with, madam?
Seems to have done pretty well on my $1,500.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
I don't know exactly.
You don't know exactly. Well, I'll show you what to do. Exactly.
Oh, your troubles, As I was saying, a man's health is his finest possession, and I'm going to keep mine. Hermie, there's the pot. Yeah.
That's what I should have done to you the first time you came courting me in your buggy.
For want of a brick, my battle was lost.
This brick's as heavy as cast iron, and that woman fired it like a catapult. Ah, what the ancient Greeks would have given for her at the siege of Troy.
1 inch closer and I'd be patching a hole in your skull, Doc.
After all this time, I didn't expect the Walkers to be still around here.
After the slick way that you suckered them, they'd probably never get enough money together to get out.
Hermie, I'm not slick. I might possibly be termed suave.
What's got into you, Doc?
Hermie, come here. Look, that's gold. Gold nuggets.
Where?
There. Hitch up the wagon. We're going back to Nugget City.
Back? Oh, Doc, that woman will fire that whole saloon at you, brick by brick.
If my hunch is right, Hermie, I hope she does. I sincerely hope she does.
Mike, you gotta do something. The mare's flat on her side in the barn, and now I can't get her up at all.
Addie, come here a minute. Listen, you go on ahead and do what you can till I get there.
Sure grateful to you, Mike.
It's all right.
What do you want?
It's an emergency. Clyde's mare is worse. Take over the bar, will you?
Are you a saloon keeper or a horse doctor?
Addie, for all the whiskey I would sell today, we might as well be closed.
When I think of all that big talk you handed me back in St. Louis to get me to come out here. Oh, you were going to be a big rancher. Breed the finest horses in the West, you said. We were even going to have a racing stable, you said.
I never said that.
Well, you as good as did. You led me to believe we'd have our own horses racing at those famous racetracks back east. Our own colors flying and belonging to all those elegant turf clubs.
Addie, that was your dream. You never really listened to mine. I still intend to raise horses someday. Fine ones.
Stuck with this worthless saloon Boatwright sold you. Couldn't even get the price of a jackass for it. You're so bad at this business, how do you ever expect to make a go of any other?
I have a knack for doctoring horses, and I like to help them.
And you like. You never stop to think what I'd like. I think of all those men I could have married back in St. Louis. I could be living with successful, cultured people. Instead of wasting away out here in this wilderness of cactus and coyotes. Even the Indians never fought for this country.
Say, Doc, you could have wrecked the wagon.
Gold is soft, Hermie. You hardly notice the bump unless it's in your pocket. Now start loading up and give a good whistle when you're ready. My dear Adelaide, how happy I am to bump into you.
So it was you who hit our saloon. Every time you come through this town, we get hit one way or
don't
another.
be concerned, dear lady. My assistant is seeing to the slight damage. Absolutely amazing.
What is?
You're exactly the same. Charming, lovely lady I saw step off that stagecoach from St. Louis in this town years ago. Ah, my dear, time has stood still with you.
Everything stands still in this town.
And what an attractive coiffeur. I haven't seen anything quite so stylish as that since I attended the governor's ball in St. Louis last winter.
St. Louis?
Yes,
You were in St. Louis?
only last week.
St. Louis. It's been a long time.
Ah, how your heart must ache for the charms of that delightful city. I would consider it an honor if you'd join me inside for some slight refreshment. And we can raise a toast to that city we both love so well.
Well, that's the first offer of business we've had in some time. And I can't think of anybody I'd rather take money from than you. You knew the mine was going to close down when you fast-talked Mike into buying this white elephant. Everything was booming, you said. In 6 months' time, we'd have enough to sell out and start the horse ranch. The gold miners spent gold like water, you said. So we called this place the Golden Shanty. Very funny. $2, please.
$2? Isn't that rather a steep price for whiskey?
This is very rare old-aged whiskey. Like everything else around this place, it just sits here waiting and hoping and growing old.
Ah, like everything but yourself, dear lady. It pains me that you'd believe I'd defraud or hoodwink my fellow man. Please call your good husband and allow me to rectify this unfortunate misunderstanding at once.
My good husband fancies himself a horse doctor. He can't afford to own them, so he doctors them. Clyde Murrow's mare is sick, and Mike's out tending her.
Pity. I wish to make restitution forthwith.
My goodness, I haven't heard the English language spoken so beautifully in such a long time.
I don't suppose many around here would appreciate a woman of your culture and refinement.
None. Least of all, Mike Walker. You haven't the faintest idea what it does to a woman of my background and breeding to live in squalor and dress in old rags like these.
My dear, you have an inner beauty that would shine radiantly through sackcloth.
Please, Dr. Boatwright. It's so wonderful to meet somebody who understands and appreciates my situation. But...
Forgive me, Adelaide. My heart momentarily ran away with propriety. I promise to refrain from such bold declarations if you'll allow me to return again, if my presence would be welcome.
Oh, yes, Dr. Boatwright.
Thank you, dear lady. All the bricks in that saloon must be packed with gold.
Who'd want to hide gold inside bricks like this?
One of nature's delightful accidents, Hermie. The clerk at the Deed and Records office told me that these bricks originally came from this very creek. Before anybody dreamt there was gold here.
Well, you didn't suck a walker so bad after all.
Nevertheless, the poor fellow is sadly disenchanted. I shall buy back his saloon.
With what? All we got is a wagon full of bottles loaded with stomach bitters.
We'll buy it with gold, Hermie. Mr. Walker's gold.
We'll have to steal an awful lot of bricks.
Yes, precisely. Tonight, at the dark of the moon, I want you to find out the location of the Clyde Morrow farm.
Clyde Morrow Farm?
In the barn, you'll find a certain ailing horse. Give the poor creature a liberal dosage of my celebrated stomach bitters.
Oh, Doc, that stuff could kill a horse.
Never fear. It'll keep Mr. Walker busy and give you, shall we say, your golden opportunity. Meanwhile, I shall expose the fair Mrs. Walker to another demonstration of my charm.
The golden age of television will continue in a moment.
Mike, the mayor, you gotta do something. All morning she's been racing around the farm like she was possessed.
She's running around. She must be all right.
No, she's got a wild look in her eye. I can't get within 100 feet of her.
Well, I never heard of a reaction like that. I get my bag, be right out.
Oh, I'm mighty thankful to you, Mike.
Hey, wake up, Doc. Doc, he finally left.
What? What? He did? Well, Dr. Boatwright's celebrated bitters have done it again. Get the wagons, quick. Dear Adelaide, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Boatwright. Oh, that crash out front.
Oh, you must forgive me, but in my impetuous haste to see you once more, I drove wildly, blindly.
I was hoping you'd be back soon.
My dear, I was compelled by a force stronger than my will to resist. Now, will you please tell your husband I am here once more with the most generous offer to buy back this miserable hovel.
He's gone again. He's never around at the right time. It's always that way. You have no idea what I've endured living with that man.
I can well imagine the grisly experience. But you mustn't be too harsh on him, my dear. He couldn't possibly know what a rare jewel he has in you. He's so far beneath you in every way.
You certainly do restore a woman's faith in herself, Doctor.
Cedric, please.
Cedric?
Think we got enough by now, Doc?
Not yet, I'm afraid.
You mean I have to hit that saloon with a wagon again?
Once more should do it. And you should also pay another sick call on Clyde Morrow's mare.
Hey, how about you and Mrs. Walker? You must be just about run out of sweet talk by now.
Hermie, I have powers of gentle persuasion that have not as yet been tapped. It's all working like a charm.
She's still tearing around the farm in circles like a Kentucky racehorse.
She can't be so sick if she's running around like that.
But it ain't natural at her age.
You can't tell about female creatures. They're liable to get frisky at any age. You keep a close eye on her. I'll be around behind the saloon here if you need me. Got to fix a split hoof on my own horse this morning.
Sure, Mike. I'm much obliged to you for all your help, Mike.
time I see you, my sense reel, my heart explodes.
Cedric, I'm all ready to go away with you to St. Louis.
What? St. Louis? Oh, Adelaide, it cannot be.
Oh, but it can be. I'm all packed and ready for that trip to Forbidden Paradise you promised.
But it was only a dream of paradise, my dear. Oh, we mustn't do anything to jeopardize this rare bliss we've found.
Darling, it's going to be just as wonderful as you said. The opera and the laughter and the gaiety and the bright lights.
Yes, but, my dear Adelaide, let us give ourselves one more day to think rationally, to examine our hearts unemotionally.
But I already left a note for Mike. I told him all about us.
Oh, you did?
Uh-huh.
Oh, good. Good. Did you put it where he can see it easily?
Oh, yes, he'll see it the minute he comes in.
Maybe you didn't sign it. We better look, make certain. Think how confused he'd be if you didn't sign it.
Please don't worry, Cedric. I signed it.
Adelaide, dear heart, perhaps the note is too cold, too cruel. After all, we have each other. And what are we leaving him?
His dream of horses. That's all he needs. Cedric, we are two people of sensitivity. He doesn't think or feel the way we do. We understand each other. We were meant for each other.
All right, Adelaide.
Amen.
Meet me at 2 o'clock this afternoon in Griffith, in front of the stage stop, my dear.
Yes, Cedric. 2 o'clock this afternoon at Griffith.
I shall be counting the minutes.
I'll go hitch up the buggy.
Doc!
Walker, what are you doing?
Hello there, Boatwright. You're kind of a stranger around here lately.
Well, if you can't demolish a fine old place like this, it might become a historical landmark one day, the last of its kind, man.
No, that isn't much of a building. It's bad brick. Kind of gravelly or grainy or something. Don't hold together at all well. Look here.
No, you look here. When I sold you this ancient structure, I thought you'd love it as much as I did. But now that I see this, well, I'll buy it back from you immediately. $500 in cash, gold.
No, Boatwright, I couldn't slicker a man for something he loves. Besides, I found out what this country needs more than a saloon. It's a good animal hospital, and I intend to build one right here.
Mr. Walker, I demand that you cease this wanton destruction in the name of our national parks, our national monuments, our national memorials and shrines, and...
Now, hold it a minute. I know what's in the brick. You can keep that sack of gold, providing you leave town right now and take Adelaide with you.
Adelaide? Oh, no, that's sadistic.
Well, she just took off, bag and baggage, to meet you at Griffith. It's not very polite to stand a lady up.
Yes, but you know perfectly well she'll be back as soon as she knows I'm not going to meet her.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. So I got another proposition for you, Doc, and you can still keep the gold. Now, come on here, sit down. Go on, sit down. Now, you write down here just exactly what I say. My lovely, sweet, impulsive Adelaide. Dear heart.
Hello, Mike. Dear.
Hello, Addie. You have a nice ride? Say, you didn't happen to see that boatwright fella, did you?
Don't you speak to me about that.
Now, the reason I asked, he dropped by here, all in a stew, looking for you. He left this note to give you.
My lovely, sweet, impulsive Adelaide. Dear heart, forgive me for not meeting you in Griffith, but I received wonderful news at the last moment. A wealthy uncle has passed away in Chicago, leaving me his entire estate. Now you shall have everything your starved soul cries for. Please hurry to meet me at the Palmer Hotel in Chicago. Your abject servant, Cedric.
I'm off to a life of luxury and ease in Chicago. I just want you to know I've hated every second I've spent in this place.
I sort of suspected that right along, Eddie. Good luck to you.
Goodbye, Michael.
She came back?
Came back, took off again like a Pony Express rider for Chicago.
Then we'll be heading for San Francisco. Anyway, thanks for everything. If I'd gotten all the rest of that gold, we'd have scattered it from here to California in a month. You'll put it to good use for your horses.
I intend to raise the very best horses in the West. If you ever need a good one, just call on me.
I will. The only good thing I can think about a horse is how fast it can get me out of town.
The nylon.